Hi and welcome back. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue on our keto cookies and confections. We're going to go ahead and do a keto bomb, chocolate keto bomb with sun butter. There is something from the 80s that I am actually kind of craving right now. Not supposed to, but you know, cravings. It was called, in the 80s, it's called an It's It. It's a cookie sandwich dipped in chocolate. We're going to make that, and then we're going to go ahead and do a chocolate espresso type of candy. So hope you stick around, but I want to go ahead and show you what I got. This is on Amazon. I am very excited about this. This is a blast from the past. It's called a Trapper Keeper. If you don't know what these are, this is for school. This was, everybody had their own design and was able to, I remember opening up the plastic here, taking the designs out and creating my own to put in here. You can do that. I'm not going to do this with this one. This is too precious. You have the Velcro opening, so nothing falls out. It comes with 2 folders, and in these folders, it has things like measurements and the times tables that we had to actually memorize to be able to do our math. This modern math stuff is not, I don't comprehend it at all anymore. You have your loose folder, or loose paper folder over on here. You can put your loose papers. You have 2, it came with 2. You always bought more. And then at the end, you have a clip that always came off. And this is for your note taking. You put a pad of paper here. And pad of paper means that it has no spiral on it. It actually had it was a 8x10 piece of paper with lines on it. And it was all attached to the top. So you would put that underneath here, and then you would flip the paper up to be able to take your notes. Now, the only thing that is different is that they use metal instead of plastic. I like the metal better because the plastic always popped off. But yes, they sell these. They're about 10 bucks, depending on who you get them from. Now, I paid $10 for this one. I think there's another design is like $13 that I think it has the like the palm tree design on it. So, yeah, get yourself some. Okay, and let's go ahead and start on the keto bombs. Okay, so for this recipe, we are going to do everything in the microwave. You don't have to do it in the microwave. You can actually put all this ingredients together, mix it up, melt it in a pan and do this. Or if you want to make a dough, make little balls, put them in the freezer, and then coat with chocolate. But this is what we're going to go ahead and do. I'm not going to coat this with chocolate because it's going to have chocolate in it. So you're going to take 1 brick of cream cheese, a bar of chocolate. Now you can use cocoa powder, about a cup of cocoa powder, but I actually recommend the bar chocolate. Because it has the cocoa fat in it, and cocoa fat is actually good on a keto diet, just like coconut oil or avocado oil, olive oil, all the pure oils. Don't get anything refined like a safflower oil, soy lecithin, or whatever it's called. That is actually highly processed and very, very bad for you. And if you're a diabetic, avoid those like the plague. So we're going to break up our chocolate. Add the cream cheese. Give me a minute. Now to this, we want to go ahead and add a half a cup. Usually it's peanut butter, but if you can't handle peanut butter, like I can't handle peanut butter, go ahead and use another type of nut butter. Now I've gone ahead and made some sun butter out of the sunflower seeds that I have, and we're going to use a half a cup on that. It's about a half a cup. This whole bowl is about a half a cup, so we'll go ahead and just put that in. Put it all in. And it's going to seem like a lot, but you want to add 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Okay, you can use any brand you want. Doesn't matter if it's refined or unrefined, preferably unrefined. Non-hydrogenated, which means they never brought this up to a high temperature to get the impurities out. That's a good thing, because you don't want a hydrogenated oil like corn oil or canola oil. Those are very toxic to the body. And you want to add a little bit of salt, about a half a teaspoon total. I wouldn't go any more than that. Now for the sweetness, as much Splenda as you like. No, stevia, sorry, not Splenda. Or whatever sweetener that you do use. We're going to go ahead and microwave this 30 seconds at a time, melt everything together, and I'll be back. Okay, so I forgot one ingredient. You want to add about a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder as well as the chocolate bar. Chocolate bar has cocoa butter in it, and the cocoa powder actually gives it a little bit more of a stiff thing, more of a dough like this. Now what you're going to go ahead and do is, if you don't have molds, go ahead and use a spoon, make little balls, put them on a cookie sheet and freeze them. But we've got molds. I've got a couple of different types. So we're going to go ahead and put these in here and make little fat bombs. Now we're going to go ahead and put this in the freezer for about an hour, and then we're going to pop them out. Alright, now that we have the keto bombs freezing, what we're going to go do is going to go ahead and start making the cookies for the what's called an It's It. It's an ice cream sandwich from the 80's. That is kind of like a sugar oatmeal type cookie with ice cream in the middle. Typically it was mint chocolate chips, so we're going to go ahead and try to get this as close to original as possible. This is homemade, and we are going to make them smaller than we were able to, get fat on. But we'll be able to eat multiples. So let me go ahead and show you the cookie recipe that we're going to do, and then what you're going to do is you're going to freeze the cookies, preferably overnight. And then we're going to go ahead and in the morning we're going to go ahead and make the cookies, or the sandwiches. Okay, so we have all these ingredients here. I'm going to go through them one at a time. Now, I do have gluten-free flour in my house. Okay, you can use regular flour for this. This is just what I have. I cannot have regular flour in my house due to allergies. So, excuse me, we're going to go ahead and measure out 3 cups of flour. Now this is a rice flour blend. I think it's rice flour, tapioca starch. It's one of my own blends that I came to love and cannot have anymore. So this is not keto, just to let you know. Okay, so that's 3 cups. One and a half cups of oats. Now, since this is not going to be keto friendly or gluten free, I'm using regular oats. If you are gluten free, please use gluten free oats. The only difference between the oats and the gluten free oats is where they're processed. Now, in the wild, oats are naturally gluten free. It's where they're processed that makes them not gluten-free. There's a bunch of cross-contamination on these oats. So if I was to ingest any of this, I would get sick. But that's going to be 1.5 cups. Now for the sugar, it's going to be 1 cup of sugar. Now to make this a deeper flavor, we're actually going to add about a tablespoon of molasses. This fun tip, if you want brown sugar and don't have any, but you have molasses in your cupboard, 1 cup of sugar to 1 tablespoon of molasses will make brown sugar. Okay, a little bit more. One cup of softened butter. Now I'm using my canned butter. It's already nice and liquidy, and this is about a cup. About a teaspoon of, actually half a teaspoon of vanilla extract ish. Okay, 1 cup of powdered sugar. And I would be wearing a black shirt with all this flour, all this powdered sugar. I may need to change shirts. Now it's going to be 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Not baking powder, but baking soda. And then you want 2 large eggs. And you're going to mix this all up till it becomes cookie dough. Oh, I forgot one thing. Again, today is not my day. I need 1 cup of vegetable oil. Now for this, I'm going to continue on with the coconut oil. But the recipe does call for a cup. It's a lot of oil. That looks better. There we go. That's all integrated. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to form cookie dough balls. We're going to use about a spoonful, like that. Yeah, because it's going to fall and spread a little bit. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to have smaller sandwich cookies, but it'll actually work out a little bit better if they're smaller, especially if they're homemade. And while we're forming the cookie dough, you want to preheat your oven to 375. Try to get them as uniform as possible, because you are making these into like a cookie sandwich. Okay, and these go into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Rinse and repeat. Alright, so now that we have the cookies nice and golden brown, we're going to go ahead and put those in the freezer. In the meantime, making a lot of noise over there? Somebody needs a coffee. We're going to go ahead and make what's called Espresso Truffles. It's kind of like a chocolate with coffee. Now, 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate or 2 candy bars. We're going to do this in the microwave. Again, the reason for that is because the stovetop method takes about a day and a half. What seems like anyway. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It takes probably a lot less time. But Grandma's too busy. Grandma has work. Grandma has a house to keep and a husband to beat. Yeah. And that's a story for no time. So, go ahead and separate out all the chocolate. Put it in the bowl. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. About 2 tablespoons. About a half cup of whipping cream. We're going to eyeball this. A little bit more. So I have 2. Okay, about half a cup. If you want to measure it, go ahead. And 1 tablespoon of espresso powder. Now this took me about an hour to find over at Walmart. It's actually in the baking section and not in the coffee section where it's supposed to be. It's not cheap, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to last a week if I make coffee. So about a tablespoon ish. And that's it. Now if you want to make this sweet, you can use semi-chocolate chips. Make sure it just is 8 ounces of chocolate chips. That's already pre-sweetened. If you want to add regular sweetener to this, or sugar, you can. And put a little bit of stevia in here and a little bit of regular sugar. I am trying to get the sugar consumption in this house down a little bit because Grandpa's in denial. So I'm only going to add like maybe a quarter cup total. And just with everything, like everything else, go ahead and nuke this for 30 seconds at a time until it's all nice and incorporated. And then we're going to pour it in the molds that we use for the fat bombs. Now the fat bombs are being stored in the freezer right now. After I'm done with everything, I'll go ahead and plate everything up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fill these up. Throw them in the refrigerator overnight. Come on. This is not going to be... I can't do this neatly. There ain't no way. Not even on camera. Not gonna happen. Even with that sugar that I added in here, it's not that sweet. So using the dark baking chocolate, if you don't like sweet things, go ahead and use the baker's chocolate and just add your own sweetener or sugar to it, because I know with the semi-chocolate chip, semi-chocolate, you know, Hershey's and all that other chocolate that's out there, it can actually be a little bit too sweet for people. This will give it a more of a chocolate taste than a sugar taste. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish this up. And then we'll go ahead and work on the It's. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day. We're gonna go ahead and finish up the sandwich cookies and then edit the video, have more coffee, and enjoy the rest of my weekend. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make the chocolate coating. Got some chocolate chips here. This is semi-sweet chocolate chips, so it's going to be sweeter. We'll put a little butter in there and microwave every 30 seconds until melted. We have our cookies and our mint chocolate chip ice cream. Now you want this to be a little bit on the soft side. It'll be easier to put the ice cream in the middle of the cookie. It's going to get a little bit messy, but that's okay. Sometimes if you need to, go ahead and take all the ice cream out and cut it up with a knife. Yeah, that looks like we're probably going to need to do that. I'll show you how to do that. It's a little bit more messy. This is not a clean process. And what you want to do is you want to put these immediately back into the freezer to firm up, and then dip them in chocolate. Now you don't have to dip these in chocolate. You can just eat them like this. But chocolate's more fun. Might be able to get one more in. So this will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per pint of ice cream. Now I'm only going to do half because I'm almost out of chocolate of the cookie. But you can also add sprinkles on top of these if you want, or some sort of other designs. And then back to the freezer. Okay, so here we have our fat bombs, our keto fat bombs, our chocolate truffles. They're the espresso truffles. Okay, you can actually add this to a cup of coffee and make a mocha. And then we have the ice cream sandwich. Okay, like I said, you don't have to put the chocolate on there. Just make sure that you keep these fresh and in the freezer. And whenever you know, because it'll melt. And this may, I'll be doing desserts a little bit more, because one cannot live off of canned food alone. So you need something sweet every once in a while. Now, there are other things that I need to get to. So the next one won't be sweets. It'll probably be something else. So let me go ahead and get this back into the freezer. And you have a good weekend. And we'll see you next time.